if you're an aspiring tech startup founder, this video is for you, right? I want you to learn most of the things Kelvin has been through, the challenges, right? The experiences, the breakthrough with Bumpa, right? The plans for Bumpa in the next 2-3 years, and how you, as an aspiring tech startup founder, can learn one or two things from Kelvin, right? And ultimately, at the end of this video, I want you to send questions to Kelvin, right? If you have if you request further details about your tech startup journey and how myself or Kelvin, who is the co-founder and CEO of Bumpa, can be of help to you, right? So join me in welcoming Kelvin Umechukwu in this video. Alright, so guys, let's get to the business of the day. But before then, please let me ask you, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tech Chat with iSlimfit. Click the subscribe link below, and not just that bell button, just click it, ping, so that you can get notified anytime I upload new videos. And more importantly, please share my old videos and this new one, of course, with your network that can benefit from this conversation we have on this channel, right? So Kelvin, thank you so much for doing this with me. I don't take this for granted. So let's start. So as an engineer and business development expert, right? So what was the transitioning like? I mean, just tell us a bit about your career journey, where you started, and how you ended up being the co-founder of Bumpa.
Interested. I would say my journey has been an exciting one. I actually studied mechanical engineering at Adetona University, and when I was in school, I was inspired by a few tech founders, very popular tech founders like Steve Jobs, and one of the product that was fascinating to me at the time was Voice Out. Sorry, it was To Go.
Okay, To Go out there.
Yeah.
Who wasn't on To Go?
And the interesting thing was when I found out that To Go was built by South Africans, and it was very popular here in Nigeria, and I was like, oh, how can I build my own version of To Go? And that was what even brought me into the line of programming while I was in 100 level. And so I started programming, but I was studying mechanical engineering, and I found good friends, people that we could build things together, and we built what was called Voice App in my 200, 300 level.
Oh, nice.
You can check it on this Tech About Tech Point. I think this was 2014. That was like
what was Voice App about?
It was a platform to help with this information dissemination on campuses. So imagine a way where your lecturers can send information directly, or the Dean of Student Affairs can send information to all the students, in a way you can get resources, even past resources.
So like a community for students and lecturers.
Yes, and the entire school, like in a controlled manner. Because I think the silly thing for me at the time was why we should be going to the school board,
notice board,
just to check one information. Like everybody would have to.
Before you get there, they'll have turned the paper. You don't see anything.
It did not make sense at the time. Or we'll sit down for maybe 30 minutes before then. We just hear someone says, "Oh, the lecturer is not coming." After 30 minutes waiting for the lecturer, and I was just like, "Why is there no better way for this?" And knowing fully well that To Go was like one of the things that inspired me. I was like, how can we bring that community thing back here? So that's what I started with, and this took me down the hill of community development. I founded Consonance Community in 2017 while as I was finishing school. And
what's Consonance about?
It's a community for developers, designers, and entrepreneurs, basically tech enthusiasts. It's a community of over 5,000 people now. But at the time, because of my community development experience, I joined TechWest after school. But this was after post-Cabal and Impressive. I don't know.
I know Impressive.
Yeah. Well, at the time it was not Impressive, but it was actually for developers, designers. At the time we were doing projects for GitHub, Figma. At the time, although it has changed today. And then I was the business development manager at Post-Cabal before I went to TechWest as a community.
Yeah, TechWest was what we met now.
Yes,
I remember I was trying to hold this summer coding camp from my previous company then.
Yeah. Yeah. At Tech we're training young people in code. We're trying to bring more people into the tech space. Basically, so I did community building. Then I was the program manager and then the head of business development department. Before leaving to join CC Hub as the program manager for incubation, where I was supporting early stage startups through their product development, marketing, fundraising, and also talent, getting talent. Yes, I think I was a CC Hub before I decided to go full time on Bumpa. That was in May this year.
But before then, I mean, has the idea been in your head? I mean, did it just spring out of somewhere? I mean, Bumpa, I mean?
Yeah. So while I was at Host Cabal, I mentioned Host Cabal was like the first place I worked after school. Host Cabal was the company, was founded by my current co-founder.
Okay.
So we met while we were in school. We were both builders. He built different products. I rep OAU. We studied in OAU together. He built Inside Market. Me, I was building voice apps. So that's how we met. So after school, he had already started a company called Host Cabal. We found out that we were doing something, and that was like building websites for small business owners. As a software shop, we were just building websites. And we discovered that at some point
you've actually done a lot. I mean, hearing all of this,
we discovered that we started building using the same template for most of them, and it was like, instead of trying to build everything again for them, like how can we just productize it? Build a software that they can easily just it can generate a website for them.
Okay.
And that's like the first idea of Bumpa. Well, this is 2018 though. It was 2018, and we did this. It was not supposed to be a company. It was called Sales Cabal at the time. We did this on the side, and we priced at 30,000 naira. So, and it was just web based. We got a few hundreds of customers. It was a side thing, so I left to do Tech Quest. We're not necessarily thinking about it that much until the pandemic hit, and we started seeing that businesses were not able to go out there, to do the normal hustling.
So you saw the problem then?
Yes. At that point, it was not like, not longer as a software shop, but then Adetona TG hit me up and say, that project that we're doing, this is actually going to be a great time for us to, release it now as a project. So we started trialing with it by the end of 2020, and then we released Bumpa by February 2021. Yeah.
So I think can we then say the pandemic actually, because from stories I've read and conversations I've had so far, I think the pandemic actually helped a whole lot, especially in helping people to come up with ideas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have enough time on their hands to work on projects, to bring them to life and all of that. Yeah, so let's talk about your skills, right? So I know you have the technical and engineering expertise, right? And I'm sure that would have helped you in building the solutions you've built so far, including Bumpa, right? So talking to my audience, I know so many people out there that will have said, I'm just a business person, I can't code, I can't that, but I have this idea, right? And they will then see that as a limitation, that I can't be a founder, I can't be a co-founder, I can't be a founder, I can't found anything because I don't know how to code, right? So in such scenario, right, what would you say? I mean, let's talk about founders that don't have the technical and engineering expertise.
I don't.
Yeah. Oh, really? So let's talk about that.
I don't anymore. Yes, I started my journey when I was, as I mentioned, when I was studying mechanical engineering. I started learning to code, and yes, the solutions that I worked on while I was in school, I was a big part of it. But as I went into entrepreneurship, I did less of coding and then more of trying to figure out partnerships, growing the team. Because at the time we were up to 20 in my team in school while we were in school on Voice Hub. So I sort of left that. Right now, the only thing that I would say I code is SQL, and that's for just data analytics, just to help me understanding some of the things that are happening on our own end, with the data. But not that I'm actively coding anymore. So for people that are business people, it definitely, if you have time on your hands, please learn to code. It's a good language to know. It's like trying to learn Spanish, French, and you want to be able to speak that language and communicate. And this one is like a language that when you learn, you can actually get it paid a lot for to know that language. So I would say, if you have time in your hands, please definitely learn to code. But if you don't, that's why you can actually get a co-founder. My co-founder was the one that built the entire first version of Sales Cover at the time. So it was great that you can have that person that can actually do the business. So in that way, you can be a good match. So I would not say there's one way to do it.
So basically, partnership.
Yes.
Look for a matching co-founder or a matching partner that can help you actualize your dream. Nice. I mean, that's interesting. So let's talk about challenges. What challenges do you think Bumpa has faced in a seemingly saturated retail tech space?
I would not say the space is saturated, and why I would not say that is when we reach out to business owners, when we go out there to look for ways to support business owners, we're discovering that they don't have solutions. So if it's saturated, most of our work should be trying to convert people from one solution to our own solution. No, but that's not the case. Our biggest competitor is the traditional way businesses have done things, in the past, which is maybe just sell in the physical store or use physical books to record their sales. It's the traditional way things have been done so far. Use a susu collector to hold their money. Like everything is just in the traditional. Yes, we have some of them that are a little bit tech savvy. Some of them are using forms. I've seen some use cognitive forms to try to get sales as a web front, or try to use Excel to record their sales. But that's that's a lot difficult for them, and it does not necessarily help them a lot, in terms of what Bumpa now provides for them. So I would not say it's a very saturated market. And the challenges we've seen, yes, one of the things would be trying to change how things have been done, traditions for some of these business owners. They have learned to trust their books. They've learned to just know that, I'm recording myself in my book, and for them, we say the first 3 weeks, when they're recording their sales on Bumpa, they will still be using their books. It takes them a while for them to, actually readjust to the new. Yes, but it's happening, and that's been exciting. So that's one of the challenges that we have faced. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot now. Although I know I told you offline, off the cameras, I wasn't going to ask you. So let me put it to you. What do you think of kids in the Nigerian tech space? I stumbled on that conversation, I think, on Twitter some few weeks ago, where we talk about clicks, how easy, or I don't know, how difficult it is for them to penetrate this the tech space, to get on board, to get mentors, to get to partner with, and all of that. What do you think of that?
There are clicks everywhere, definitely. But I would also say that the tech community is one of the most welcoming. I see most of us, people in tech community, trying to get more people into tech. We're always organizing events, like
free events,
yes, that anybody that can actually just sign up and come in, either to learn, to network, to meet these mentors, for instance. I would say it's not very difficult to get into tech. The tech community have done a lot in helping people to come into the same tech space. But yeah, cliques exist everywhere, in the entertainment space, music industry, in politics. They're definitely,
even in schools, in classes. you
by
have
the
your
time
friends.
as you just keep on growing in your career, you definitely, I would say, start aligning with a few people that you're
People
interested in.
you have interest with, or
That you've grown with
interests.
experience with, like it's just natural, you know, and you become friends, you know, career friends, and that's what it is supposed to be. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Alright, so Kelvin, let's talk about funding. So I know for many tech startup founders out there, one of their major challenges, right, is securing funds, access to funds, right? And I read in papers how Bumpa was selected as one of the 50 African startups for the equity-free group for startups funding, right? So how has it been like? How did you secure funding, and how does it feel, or how did you feel, right, when you learned Bumpa was part of the startups that was selected for the group for startup funding?
So I think that getting support as a startup founder is one of the is the one thing that keeps you going. You know, getting support, either is, you know, with your teammates or funding. You know, and for us, we were lucky to be able to have gotten, you know, support in the early days. One thing that was helpful was the fact that I was an operator in the space before starting at Bumpa. It meant that people already knew me in the space before then, so it was easy for me to have first conversations with people. You know, Adewale, co-founder, founder of Google's Jobberman, you know, currently Money Me, was one of the people to first of all, you know, give us that support that we needed, you know, in terms of financing. He saw the product and believed in it, and, you know, was able to provide us with some funding, you know, while we were able to build out the product, build up Bumpa, and then secure more funding. So I would say that being an operator in the space, you know, was definitely helpful if you have not started out yet. As much as we hear a lot that there's funding in the space now, the truth of the matter is that it's also helpful when people know you or have seen something that you've done in the past. You know, and I see how easy it is for some of these kind of people to be able to raise funds, and I'm sure it would not be as easy, you know, if you're just coming in and just say, oh, I want to raise funds without
So you need to do
that
your own
anything.
background work first.
You know, another thing was the support that we got from Google. It was exciting, you know, just knowing that we
I was actually
everything fun. It was great because it meant that Google was able to recognize that we're doing this thing, and we're doing it for thousands and millions of small businesses here in Nigeria and Africa, and so that kind of support definitely exists. And as an aspiring founder, definitely you want to be able to check out for those kind of grants, you know, that are available. You know, I think Mastercard has some. There are a few here and there. You know, there's also incubators and accelerators to join. Even if you're not an operator or anything, like, you can join some of those things or get certain grants that you would need that will give you the edge, you know, before you can now get additional funding. So yeah, that's how it was, at least for us.
All right, Kelvin. Yeah. So thank you so far. So on a final note, I mean, let's try to round up this conversation, right? So if you were not doing tech, what would you have been doing? Would you have been a footballer or a musician?
I think I'll be in the entertainment industry.
Oh, I just tried.
I think I would probably go there because I like to talk or dance. I like activities, so it's possible that I'll find my way there. I do a lot of MCing for tech. But technically, maybe I would go and do that. You know,
Or probably a politician.
I don't know about that.
All right. So on the final note, so any word of advice for aspiring founders out there?
We need a lot of you. Like, there's so many.
Bring your ideas to life.
Yes, there's so many problems out there, and the future that we're seeing about Nigeria or Africa will be built by people like me and you.
Yeah.
You know, so we need you out there. So immediately you can start. You know, if you think that you have a gap in the skill, the knowledge that you have, please read up.
Find mentors.
Learn
Learn
the right skills. I'll say even beyond trying to find mentors, I'll say find the right peers. I see a situation whereby many people are trying to look for top people that they will connect to. I don't think that
all these people are busy people.
You know, you find the right peers. You know, and then you can grow with them. You know, people that are thinking the same, down your wavelength. You know, and then just start. Just start, and you'll figure it out along the way. I don't think we figured anything out beforehand. We just knew that we wanted to keep on starting stuff, and here we are. And the sky is obviously not the limit for us.
Alright guys, you heard it from Kelvin Umechukwu, CEO, co-founder of Bumpa. Just start, bring your ideas to life, right? Don't let whatever that is a challenge limit you. Find the right pair, people in your network. It doesn't necessarily have to be people that have done bigger things in the community, right? Most of these guys are busy guys, right? So thank you for sticking with us on today's show. Thank you so much for watching. And if you got questions about Bumpa, you got questions that you think myself or Kelvin especially can help you with in your tech startup journey, please reach out via my email adetona07@gmail.com. Right, and please, if you have anyone that has a storefront out there, please bring them on board Bumpa.com. Let them sign up, right, and let them have a seamless anything. If you sell anything, let them come and have a seamless e-commerce experience on Bumpa, right? And last thing, guys, please subscribe to this channel and share this video with your network. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.
Bye.